Yes, Phil, you're correct. There was some other music playing. I don't know what that was. I must have accidentally pressed the button. Was it the sad music? I don't know. We'll save that for the end. Anyway, how are you? Well, we've got a big stream tonight. I've got a special guest going to be joining me in just a few moments. It's Theo. And if you were at Affiliate Gathering just the other week, then you would have maybe met Theo as he was there. Boy, Affiliate Gathering, did you go? It was fantastic. I'm still buzzing off it, I think. Just the energy, the people, the fun, the parties, the beer. We all had a great time. Two very late nights in a row, but definitely worth it, definitely worth it. I've put together a video which I'm going to be uploading. Well, I've already uploaded it, actually. I'm just waiting for a couple of other things for it. It'll be live tomorrow. And it's a bit of a recap on Affiliate Gathering, and it also has got some fantastic tips that I was able to extract from some of the experts and speakers that were there. So that's definitely going to be worth a look. But before we bring Theo on, I just want to do a very quick load of hellos. Who have we got in? We've got Theo. He's already in the chat. So if you've got any questions for Theo, just bring them in as and when you want to. Daniel, let's say hello to you first. You get an Eagle member for 12 months. Congratulations. Wow, that's some dedication. I appreciate that, Daniel. Who else we got? We got Abdul Kabir. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. We also got Carl, who's in. Carl, long time no see. How the devil are you? We need to catch up. I've not spoken to you for ages. Helen's here. Good to see you in York, Helen. Phil's here, of course. And Sue, who was sadly missed at Affiliate Gathering, I've got to say. But thank you, Sue, for everything. Really appreciate it. Sue's been doing a lot of work on Can You Wash It? And it really is starting to fly. There'll be a full update on that soon. Probably next week's live stream, I'll do a income report update type thing. We also got Andy Matheson. Andy, good to see you. Bradbury's here, CPA Marketeer. Ed's here. Hassan, good to see you, friend. Jan's here. Nemo, I'm glad you're looking forward to this stream. Recreational Combat. Steve's here. Stuart's here. And last but not least, we have got Wabistics. You saw the video the other day about site being copied. Yeah, it happens all the time. When you put sites out like I do on YouTube, then people do tend to copy. But anyway, let's not waste any more time, and let's bring Theo on, and let's see what he's all about. Let's transition him in. Transition. Theo.
Hello.
You're live. How are you? Well, you're a big smile. You're such a positive person. It's a good energy you're bringing.
Always got to bring the energy.
Good. Well, it was really good to meet you in York, by the way, and I think we all had a blast at Affiliate Gathering. We learned lots of things. But for those people who may not be aware of you, just want to give us a brief introduction about who you are and what you do and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. I'm a YouTuber. I've got 2 channels. One's in the gaming niche, and that's my first one. Been running that for quite a few years, and it's a World of Warcraft channel. So it's all about World of Warcraft, everything to do with that game. Been playing it for around 18 to 19 years now. So
is it that old, that game?
Yes, I played since day one, so that's how old the game is.
Wow, that must be like a record that a game has lasted, that an online game lasted that long.
There's no, that's the only one. That's the oldest game.
Yeah, because I know games like Counter-Strike, they've been around for a while too, but wow, that's a long time, nearly 20 years.
Yeah, I was 11 years old when I started playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did your mother say? Just get off, stop playing all those games. You'll never do anything with them. You'll go out and earn some money.
I played with my dad and 2 older brothers, so it was a family game.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then over a few years, I just wanted to become a YouTuber because I saw people making videos and they weren't always the most accurate. I had better information. At the time, I was doing a degree in acting.
Okay.
And I wanted to use it. So I was like, let's make a YouTube channel and do it. And it went really, really well.
Yeah.
To be honest.
All right, we'll talk about a bit more about that in a moment. Well, you definitely have a certain presence. I don't know if you learned that or if you just had that within you anyway. Maybe it was a bit of both. Was there any one particular YouTuber that kind of inspired you or made you really want to get into YouTube? Or was it just the general YouTube vibe?
To be honest, I watched so many different YouTubers in World of Warcraft specifically that it was probably a combination of lots of different YouTubers that really pushed me towards it. There was actually, I think the lack of good videos in specific subjects is actually what drove me more than potentially people who were doing a great job.
There wasn't one particular personality that you thought, oh, I want to be like them, that kind of thing. No,
it was more of, I've always been quite a positive person, and I like to bring that kind of positive energy into like every situation, especially content. So that's what I wanted to do with my video, basically.
I love it. Okay, so you've got YouTube going on, but then you've also, as my thumbnail suggested, got some other things going on. Tell us a little bit about those other projects.
Okay, so connected to my gaming YouTube, I've got some affiliate programs. One of those is the t-shirt one. And then I've got my blogging channel, which is kind of all my transition into kind of blogging and experimenting, learning everything there is about blogging. You inspired me. You and Carl Broadbent really inspired that channel.
Well, thank you.
That's kind of like me documenting my career going forward with that. Then I've got my property business, which is completely like a passive income. I don't really deal with it whatsoever. It's when I make enough money, I buy a house and then hand it across, and I don't handle it at all. It's too much work. I used to, but it is just.
So what, you have an agent or a kind of management company on that or something?
I have a managing agent, yes.
Yeah. So what if the boiler breaks, they just sort it out or whatever, yeah?
Yeah. Honestly, it's not the problems. The problems are easy to deal with. It's people. They're the most
Yeah,
difficult.
I know all about it. I have property too, and like one guy's just destroyed my garden fence. He didn't keep the bushes like in order. Just let them grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until they were big enough to actually push the fence over. And then they come and go, well, how was I to know the bush would push the fence over?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how nice you are or how much you're trying to help people. Uh, there's always someone who's going to have a problem with you in some way, shape, or form. It's just the nature of the business. So it's, for me myself, I hand that across to someone to look after and get on with what I'm good at, which is YouTubing, and hopefully one day be the master blogger. But we'll see.
I'm sure you will. You have the energy and the drive to do that. I just want to give a shout out to Carl, also an Eagle of 10 months. Thank you. Eagler for life. I love that statement. Just going back to the property, I mean, property is always seen as a kind of sound investment. And I don't want to use the word easy, but maybe an easy way to generate some passive income. Far more stable and less risky than internet stuff or crypto or any of those things. Would you agree with that statement? I mean, you kind of make it sound fairly easy.
Yeah, I would massively agree with that statement. I learned about property when I was actually dirt poor. I was about, if I'm totally honest, I was about £6,000 in debt, straight out of university, struggling, didn't have a penny to my name, and I was learning about property. My dad said to me, Theo, you're being stupid here. Don't do this. You don't know a single thing about property.
Oh, what, when you were thinking about buying your first place?
No, when I was just trying to learn about property.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even ready to buy. I was too in debt with that. And I went on a gathering, like affiliate gathering, but for property.
Okay.
And I started to learn the business. And once I learned a few things, I was like, okay, so I just need to get my debts cleared as fast as possible and get a deposit. And I can actually turn that into a series of properties in not many years at all. And that's what I did. I literally did exactly that.
Wow. So you've obviously used a lot of your World of Warcraft money to buy these properties.
Yes.
Do you use leverage to buy the properties? Do you use a mortgage, or do you just buy them for cash?
Yeah, they're all mortgaged.
Okay. But obviously the mortgage, I guess, is less than the rental income, so that there's a positive balance sheet there.
It's a lot less than the rental income. It's
Good.
probably like
Are mortgage payments offsettable against tax?
interest is.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the interest is, but not the direct.
Not the actual the capital.
Yeah.
Obviously, that.
I wish, mate. I wish I should. I'll try and get my account on that one.
Yeah, maybe there's something we can do there. And last question on property, because this is not WP Property. Or Property Eagle, maybe that's the one. Property Eagle.
I like that.
I'm actually thinking of building out the Eagle brand. In fact, my next website, which is going to be the rebrand of Best Corn Popper, is Eagle based. I'm thinking, everyone says you build a brand. I've got the Eagle. Let's push it out. But yeah, so is there any particular location that you buy properties? I guess they're all in the UK, but is it the north or the south or London or?
West Midlands. To be honest, I'm actually trying to sell one of my properties at the moment. I'm trying to get enough capital to buy myself a dream home, so to speak, in the countryside. I grew up originally in the countryside, and I've been living in the city of Birmingham, for around 15 years now, and I really just want out.
You've had enough of city life,
Yeah.
That's fair enough. How old are you, Theo?
30.
30. What a fantastic age. You're still young enough to have loads of energy and vitality, but enough experience and knowledge to put those energies and vitalities to good use. Great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about. Oh, by the way, if there's any questions, I haven't seen any questions. I am watching the chat. Do keep an eye on it too. I did see that Mr. Broadbent arrived. Let's give him first of all an applause. There we go, for the fantastic event that he put on just the other week. Fantastic. I was impressed by how smoothly it ran, and because just even the thought of organising a children's birthday party is enough to, put me off any event organisation. But that kind of thing, at that scale, that many people, to run that smoothly, very impressive, Carl. And we can't wait for next year. By the way, I think tickets, in fact, I know tickets are available for Affiliate Gathering 2023. There's a special price as well if you get in early. So head over to affiliategathering.com, get it in your diary now. and we'll see you there next year in York. And they only get better. I mean, I've only been to 2, but this one was better than the one before, and the one before, the first one, was pretty darn good too. So yeah, make sure you go and get yourself a ticket.
This was my first one, and I absolutely loved it. I've been to a few seminars and get-togethers, and this absolutely blew them all out of the water by far. Everyone was so open and willing to talk and everything. It was so useful.
Yeah, it was great, and just meeting some of your heroes from Twitter and YouTube, Jamie and Ariel, Nishite Lady. Who else was there? Kasra. Yeah, there was just too many to name. Just everywhere you turn, hey, I know you, or I'd met them before or whatever, but also from Twitter and YouTube, and it was just great to have a face-to-face with them. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the T-shirt side of things, because I think that's interesting. That's something, print on demand is something that I've dabbled with. I didn't have much success with it. Maybe I chose the wrong niche. I mean, affiliate marketing mugs, I guess that's never going to work. But for you, you seem to have found an area that works, and you're sending out T-shirts, by the truckload. So what do you think is the trick there with the print on demand?
So I just want to correct that a little bit. I have an affiliate scheme for the T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
And I push the affiliate scheme. I also have print on demand as well.
Oh, okay.
So I do both.
So these are T-shirts that someone else is printing for and has designed, and you just think they're pretty cool, so you're recommending them?
Yeah, so I was buying these T-shirts for around, I'm not sure the exact dates, but it was like 12 to 14 years I was been buying these T-shirts.
Oh, what, just for your own personal fashion?
Yeah,
I see.
I just love them. This T-shirt, exactly.
And what, they're Warcraft inspired?
They're just geeky gamer T-shirts.
Okay.
And the whole concept is you buy it basically either today or tomorrow, and after that it disappears. You can't buy it again. And
so they're very limited.
Yeah, they're unique concepts, and they're community-driven projects. So everyone votes for which T-shirt design they want to see. And
wow.
I was buying for them for such a long time that I was like, you know what? I really, really, really want to get an affiliate scheme with them. And I emailed them, and they said no 7 times until they eventually said yes. And then it started to go.
So how do you promote them? Do you just create content about the limited time designs, or how does it work?
Exactly. So I make blogs, I make YouTube videos for my World of Warcraft content, and then in those videos I will passively promote the T-shirts with probably about a 15 to 20 second advert, and usually it does really well. They pass on along the information, and it just does incredible because of that.
Wow. And so the number you gave me was last month 1,850 T-shirts.
Yes, that's right.
Wow. And how much are one of these T-shirts?
The T-shirts, so again, you know how the first day you buy it, it starts off at £9, the next day it's £11, and then you can't buy it.
So they're incremental kind of increasing pricing.
Yeah. So it encourages you to check every single day. So when someone says, oh, I've got a code here to save you some money, suddenly they're like, oh, okay, I'll buy a T-shirt every day for the next month or something. So you get a lot of repeat sales from that.
Wow. That's really interesting, really interesting. So other affiliate marketing stuff that you got going on, what kind of things are you doing? Because I know that you are moving more into this kind of space of the, make money online, blogging, niche websites. So yeah, what kind of avenues has that taken you down?
So I am also selling my own T-shirts as well on my site, my gaming site. To be honest with the T-shirt side of things, because it's so specific and tied to you as a content creator, you don't tend to sell quite as many as you would, say, a whole brand worth of T-shirts.
Yeah, I've kind of found that with the T-shirt.
Yeah, how do you get on with yours?
I give most of my T-shirts away. No one really buys them unless they're really into me. But yeah, so what kind of designs have you got? They're obviously Warcraft inspired, or are they more Theo inspired?
Warcraft inspired, definitely.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft inspired. I try and make them relevant to whatever current expansion is out in World of Warcraft, and then we'll take, say, some of that art and we'll reproduce it in a different style with different characters, but taking the same kind of concepts and lore and mythology from World of Warcraft, but applying it to a geeky gamer T-shirt, effectively. That way,
Okay,
someone
that makes
who's
sense.
not interested in World of Warcraft can still buy it, etc. You know.
Question here coming in from Abdul Kabir. What shirts platform, sir? Very formal. I like it.
Okay, so use WooCommerce on my site, and then that's connected to Printify. Yeah, Printify.
Printify. So
And
order comes in through your site, automatically gets pushed into Printify, and they deal with it. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, that's it. Just double
Perfect.
check that. Yeah, it's Printify. Yeah, it's definitely Printify. Because the
Printify.
Printful
I mean,
and
there's so many
Printify.
to choose from, isn't there? That's the thing. Okay, and just in terms of that artwork and obviously building on the back of someone else's brand, which is World of Warcraft, have you ever come across any kind of copyright issues with that? I mean, because I've often thought about there's certain niches that could inspire art, maybe films, maybe games, maybe music. Yeah, what is the copyright kind of issue there if you're just kind of inspired and maybe even using characters from a particular game?
It's transformative. If you're just ripping off, a picture that's on World of Warcraft and put it on a T-shirt, that's just taking
That could be
someone
a
else's
problem, yeah.
art. But if you're creating art completely fresh, the person who creates it, that's their copyright. So as long as you're not just literally drawing exactly what you see on screen and you're completely creating something fresh, it is your design completely. So, for example, there are many characters in World of Warcraft right now which are dragons, and they take human form as well. And each dragon represents a certain type of fantasy lore aspect. One's time. So I basically made a different type of style dragon, but with sand timers, and that was the T-shirt. And
Ah, okay.
I do the same type of thing. So doing the same thing with the style of lore, but changing the art style, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. We've got some questions coming in. Well, statements. I wasn't aware you can incorporate printing with WooCommerce. Well, that's how I do my stuff as well. Mine's plugged into Ink Threadable, which are a UK-based print-on-demand company. But most of them do plug in. And the other one I did was with, I can't remember. They're all printable, Printify, Printer this, whatever. I don't know. Something like that.
You know
But
what
yeah,
that
generally
reminds-
WooCommerce will plug into most of them. Yeah, I think it was Printify, Helen.
There's actually not that many guides on doing that. The WooCommerce to Printify. It is not a lengthy process, but it's also pretty easy. It's just there's not a lot of guides on it necessarily. You better go into the Printify website directly, as they have some pretty good blogs on that, if you are looking into that.
Okay. All right. Hey, Adrian. Good to see you. Long time no see. How are you? Have a Viking horn. 30 months of membership as well, Adrian. Wow.
I love your sound effects. Can you do the eagle one?
Eagle, yep. We got eagle. We got whatever you want. We got bicycle. So let's talk about design. There's a couple of questions that are quite similar. CPA marketer, could you use AI art? And also Carl asks, do you design any through Midjourney? And then Phil, these are all in the same kind of area. Do you design the designs yourself or outsource? So yeah, how's the design process? Is it AI? Is it outsourced? Or are you just very good at colouring in yourself?
I'm terrible at colouring in, to be honest. No, no, I haven't got time for that. So I go to Fiverr. If you do go to Fiverr and you have an artist do it, just check the small print, because some of the artists have it set that they retain the copyrights for it. And if you're
So then they'll be
selling
claiming royalties on all your t-shirt sales.
effectively, the way they get around it is they give you rights to it, but then later down the line they could give other people rights to it, and so you could end up with a
You
bunch
could be
of competitors.
competing against people using your own design, yeah?
Yeah, for a design that you paid for, which
Okay.
is crazy. So just double check the small print. It is your copyright, and just to be safe, just ask when you're starting the gig. Is this my copyright or will it be yours? Because technically, it's the person doing the actual design itself. So you need to make sure that you are purchasing copyrights for the art as well as when you're producing it. I don't use any AI yet.
But that may be a way forward with AI. It does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And how much roughly would a design cost on Fiverr?
For my latest was it 6 designs? Yeah, I think, no, it was 5 designs. My latest 5 designs cost £240.
For 5 or each?
For all of them.
Okay.
For all 5 together. Yeah.
That seems pretty
Which isn't bad.
reasonable.
I was pretty happy with that.
I was trying to get a design edited by someone on Fiverr. 5 attempts later, and they all said no, they couldn't do it. I love Fiverr. You know I love Fiverr. I've used many a folk on Fiverr, and the fantastic ad that you saw at the beginning of this stream, the popcorn ad, that was created by someone on Fiverr. My thumbnails that I've been putting up are all created by a guy on Fiverr. And what I find with Fiverr is, once you find a good, I don't know what you call someone on Fiverr, a Fiverrer, once you find a good Fiverr person, just keep using them. And what they tend to do is give you discount codes and kind of that kind of thing if you use them on a regular basis. So, yeah. I love Fiverr, and it's a great place to get all kinds of services, I find. Random question alert. How many hours a day do you work?
To be honest, it depends on the day, but I work a lot. But I don't really see it as work because I love everything I do. Anything I don't do, I just don't do it. That's it. Just don't.
That's the quote of the stream. Anything I don't do, I just don't do it.
I give it out to someone else to do, and I say, look, I'll pay you to do this, and that's it. That's honestly how simple it is. The property side of things, I just don't like dealing with the property side of things, so I'm happy to pay for that to be completely sorted, and for people to obviously take a little bit of money for that. That's completely fine by me. And it's the same for any business type of things. If there's something particular I don't enjoy doing, then I just don't do it. And doing that means that when I do work, I absolutely love it. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yes, let's go. Let's get on that PC. Let's get to work. Or I'm on my way from the gym home, and I'm like, oh, I want to get home and start working. You know, that feeling that you enjoy what you do doesn't feel like work.
Didn't someone famous once say, if you enjoy what you do, then you'll never do a day's work in your life or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Said that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's definitely true. And yeah, in life, there is always going to be stuff that you have to do that you don't like doing, like your taxes and, so your property stuff and other maybe investments or other jobs and things that you need to get them done, but you just don't want to do them, as you say.
Or the vacuuming. I just can't stand the vacuum.
Have you got a cleaner or like a robot cleaner or?
No, my missus forces me to do it. She's like, you can't escape this one, Theo. You got to do this one.
Yeah, well, maybe sometimes you have to do the odd thing. A bit of vacuuming now and again won't do any harm. But yeah, the bigger stuff like those taxes and property management or whatever else you've got to worry about, just get someone good to deal with that, and then you can focus on doing the stuff you enjoy and probably the stuff that generates you the income. That's
a really important thing I have to say on that as well. I started off with someone who I only paid, really low, to be honest, like I think it was something like 7% rent for looking after the property. And they did a terrible job. They didn't care. They didn't check on the properties. They didn't really deal with the tenants professionally. So then I ended up paying a lot more by just trying to skimp out. When I changed it, I went for someone who was more high quality, who was full management, did all the bells and whistles. I've never had a problem since. So, yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say there's a couple of links to Theo's channels in the description, his gaming channel, but then also his new channel, which is just his experiences with blogging and that kind of thing. Do go check it out and do subscribe. He's a very young channel at the moment, but he's got some great content on there already. He's got some useful content around popcorn theme as well. He's a big advocate of mine, Carl, and Phil's theme, popcorn. So yeah, go check him out. Go check out his videos. Give him a subscribe. Give him a like, and watch some popcorn videos.
Honestly, WP, the only products I ever will have any type of affiliation to are products I genuinely believe in. One is this t-shirt company that I do it with, and another one is popcorn. And those two are really just ones that I really believe in. And when you believe in a product and genuinely believe, not just be like, oh, it's a good product, but actually one that you use and you really like, it's just easy to promote it. It's not something you're just trying to pump money from. It's actually something that you can integrate into your daily systems. And that's why I promote Popcorn. I used Elementor for years, and when my site got hacked through Elementor, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I said no, and that's when I found Popcorn.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And we do our best to try and make something that's good. That's why we came up with the theme, because we wanted a theme for our own sites that was good and fast and made the content look pretty. So tell us a little bit about your niche websites. I mean, obviously you don't need to go into any details in terms of niches or anything like that, but when did you start them? How are they going? That kind of thing.
Okay. So I started the only one I'm happy just to say, which is my actual brand website connected to my gaming site, which is EROSIUMTV.com.
Yeah.
And that is a World of Warcraft site where I basically write guides about World of Warcraft. And I also sell memberships for basically people who want to support me, say viewers and things like that. They can support me on there. And I have a team of writers, including myself, who produce high quality guides that people basically pay to, like a membership per month, to read those.
Okay.
And the kind of selling point to that is, imagine you're writing a guide right now for a huge amount of people online. How much more effort would you put into those guides if you were getting paid $10 a month by every single person that was reading it? And that's exactly what we try to think of when we're producing these guides. It's not just, oh, here's the information. It's how can we get this information across in pictures, video format.
Yeah, how you package that up into a really nice quality way.
Exactly. So we really try and sell the high quality guides on there, and people who support me and my team are basically getting the best type of World of Warcraft content they can. As for my other sites, I've got 4 other sites. I've got the Theo Ramwell one, which is the really new one, talking a lot about themes and hosting.
That's running Popcorn, I think, that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all on Popcorn apart from one actually. Then
Is EROSIUM TV on Popcorn?
EROSIUM TV. Okay, so it's on Elementor at the moment.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say it didn't look like it,
scenes-
although you can do some things with Popcorn, but that didn't look like it to me.
So yeah, behind the scenes, I've actually built EROSIUM TV on Popcorn as well, on a dummy site that Spiderweb Phil in the chat has set up for me, and I'm hoping to actually transfer my main site when I've finished everything with that. And then I've got a sports site, another gaming site, and a health site, I guess you could call it. Yeah.
And how are they going? I mean, they sound like fairly competitive niches you've chosen there.
The gaming site is doing the best view-wise, but the worst monetary-wise, given that it's a gaming niche. The sports one's doing incredible, absolutely incredible. The views aren't high enough yet to basically bring in huge amounts of money, but the EPMV is absolutely bewildering. It's like, my gaming niche one is like $3.50 per 1,000, which is so low.
That's pretty low, yeah.
Yeah.
The gamers not spend money, and they all run ad blockers.
Exactly. And the sports one is like over, it's
double figures at least.
Sorry?
Double figures? 10,
Oh
20?
yeah, way higher. It's between 20 and 30
Wow.
per 1,000.
Certain audiences are obviously far more valuable than others. But it's very hard to predict, I guess.
I chose a really new sport, and that has a lot of potential because they're trying to grow the sport as a result.
Okay, let's have a look at the chat.
Niche or niche, which is
I did notice that when you first said it. It sounds like you're trying to please both. It's like a combination between niche and niche. So it's kind of niche.
Niche.
Yeah, that's maybe it's the hybrid. It's the British and American. Yeah, combination. I like it. We're going to call it a niche from now on.
Niche.
But of course, is always niche. Recreational Combat says, so you wouldn't recommend Elementor then? That's a big question.
If you're a web developer, it's fantastic. If you're not, then get Popcorn. That's genuinely...
The thing is, when Elementor first came out and when I built sites with Elementor, I did love it. It was so flexible, and compared to what we had at the time, which was just basically the basic WordPress text editor, really, for want of better thing. I mean, there wasn't a lot you could do with it. And then Gutenberg was just starting to appear on the scene, but it wasn't very good, and everyone thought, no, we're not going to do that. So Elementor was perfect. It was drag and drop. It had so many styling features. You could make stuff look really good. But now where we're at with WordPress and the way that the built-in editor and the blocks and the patterns and everything, Elementor is just I find an unnecessary expense in terms of money and in terms of overhead on your performance that, you just don't need it. And the other problem that we're all experiencing now is that when you've built a site with something like Elementor and then you decide down the line you want to change to something else, that process can be very long-winded and quite difficult.
Yeah, I describe Elementor as the Swiss Army knife of themes, so to speak, and it does almost too much for what you need to use it for, that you're just a bit like pulling your hair out just trying to do simple tasks a lot of the time. So I think that's why I particularly like Popcorn, because when I want to change something, I don't have to Google or YouTube the problem. I can just figure it out, and that's no hate on Elementor. It is what it is. It was for me when I realized that a lot of people were trying to exploit like the code in Elementor to hack sites, and that's when I was like, yes, okay, I'm now officially leaving.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, what else we got going on? We need a few more likes. Come on, if you want a horn, Andy, which he does, I'll play the horn. I want some likes.
Come on, smash the like button, guys. Show us some love.
Oh, I know why. It's because I haven't mentioned a giveaway, have I? That's the problem. Where is my giveaway overlay? Here we go.
Are we doing a giveaway, Alex?
I've put 88 up there, but that's probably too much because I don't know whether it's because I've been away or whether because we're on a Wednesday or whatever. But the views are a little bit lower than usual. So I'm going to say let's go say 44 likes.
That's fair.
44 likes, and there we go. Here we go. Let's go for some more questions from you guys. Jan asks, how much does Theo earn from YouTube? That's a very personal question. And it's also a fairly complex question because your YouTube platform and your community provides you ways to promote other things like t-shirts and your website, your memberships and stuff. But just as a rough figure, let's say maybe from AdSense, how much are you putting in roughly?
From just AdSense? It completely varies every month. Like it is so different month to month. It's ridiculous.
Wow, that's interesting. Mine's fairly consistent, it seems. Yeah.
Well, it depends because it's a gaming niche. There you go. Because it's a gaming niche. Sometimes a video information will completely just go out of date one day, just like that, and
okay,
it disappears. So it completely changes month to month. 1 month it could be 1,800, and the next month it could be down to 300 or 400. It entirely depends on the month and what's popped off.
And the content, okay, and what's going on in the niche, in the industry. That's interesting, and it's also something that people maybe should keep in mind when creating or thinking of a niche. For things like gaming, and I mean they all sound appealing. Things like technology, even like the stuff that I do on this channel, they're all good content, but they're not anywhere near evergreen content because we're in stuff that changes all the time. Internet marketing, niche websites, WordPress, those things change all the time. Gaming changes all the time. Technology changes all the time. So they are fun niches, but they're not the kind of niches where you can create a bit of content and it can just sit for years and still be relevant, still be useful, still be entertaining.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say if it means anything in terms of like monetary side of things, the gaming guides membership stuff blows YouTube out the water.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So just roughly, you said you're charging around $10 a month for membership. How many members do you have?
Around about 150 at the moment. So
That's nice.
that's just consistency. Obviously, I still have streaming and the streaming subs on Twitch and donations, etc. as well, but that's not quite as much as the other
Yeah.
stuff.
All right. So you're streaming. How often are you streaming, and where do you find all these hours in the day?
I honestly, I don't know where I find the hours in the day.
But you stream on Twitch. How often do you do that?
Just once a week on Fridays. Friday night, 8 p.m. for 3 hours, and we're good.
So that's
it.
a good excuse for you to play some games and also work at the same time.
Yeah, so I just basically call it kind of the community hangout. So everyone who likes, say, mount farming in World of Warcraft, come along for the Friday mount farm. It's something
so
I could
that
do.
your members and viewers, they join you within the game?
Exactly. Yeah. So I say to everyone, just come along, have fun. It's something I could do on my own, but because I open it up to the community, people kind of want to get more involved and push it and promote it themselves.
Okay. Stuart says, one of my Elemental sites got hacked about 3 weeks ago. It took me ages to fix it. I ended up restoring an old backup. I'm going to go to a few more questions from the chat in a minute. I just related to game, one more thing I want to ask you. It's a kind of big philosophical. It's kind of a big question. I can't say that word tonight. A big question regarding gaming. Now, gaming has become extremely popular in recent years, especially among young people. I mean, my 10-year-old boy is obsessed with gaming. He loves playing all sorts of games. It's also changed a lot since I started playing games on my BBC Micro, then progressed onto, the Nintendo Entertainment System, playing Mario and stuff. Though my daughter loves Mario, she's got a Switch, she just plays those games all the time, which I feel are slightly more wholesome in a way. However, gaming as a whole, is it a good or is it a bad thing? I know that's a big question, and you obviously enjoy it and you have a lot of people that are into it. But like all things that are good and fun, can it also be detrimental to people's lives?
Absolutely, it can. Yeah, it really can. It could be both healthy and unhealthy. Before I did my degree in acting, I was extremely introverted, extremely shy. I had no social skills whatsoever. I couldn't stand up and talk in front of people, regardless of being wanting to be an actor. And World of Warcraft helped me come out of my shell, start to socialize, start to learn kind of like how to get past the social awkwardness of situations. So it really helped me as a younger person, understand how to socialize a little bit easier with people.
Was that because you were talking to people online, or were you also
exactly.
talking with people offline?
Because I was talking to people online.
Okay.
But then later on in life, when I was at university, it probably wasn't a good thing for me because I was playing too much games and I wasn't, actually doing the work for university, which I should have been doing.
Yeah.
So it's
like all things, I guess you've got to get the moderation, you've got to get the balance right in your life. Like drinking, like eating, like exercise, all of these things, if taken too far, can be detrimental to your life.
Exactly, yeah. And you start to feel at a certain point where games can even become like your job. I'm not talking about YouTube, I'm talking about, just a game like World of Warcraft where you've got to stay up to date with all the things that are constantly happening. It can feel like a job in those instances. And that's where you start to lose the fun aspect. And
the grinding out in these kind of games where you have to just, do repetitive things.
Exactly.
Okay. Good. It's a big topic, but very interesting. Do you like Dr. Disrespect?
Yeah, he's cool.
He was a big inspiration in terms of streaming. Just the way that his streams are just like a high production value kind of thing, and the way that he obviously puts on. He's created this persona, and he's a man of probably maybe slightly younger, but near my age, playing these games with the younger guys, and just the whole character, the whole production. I just thought, wow, and the fact that he can, as his job, he sits and streams 7-8 hours pretty much every day. I just thought, wow, he's an incredible guy. Check out Dr. Disrespect if you haven't seen him already. He's very funny.
I love when he goes the speed, the tenacity, the strength, the power of will.
Yeah, the violent speed and momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I totally use like that sometimes in my own streams. Just when I want to be a bit too cocky with things, you get like
that's
a
all
really
it is. It's completely
mounty,
cocky,
like,
and it's lovely.
I'm built different. I'm just better at the game, like all this type of stuff,
Yeah, Dr. Disrespect, big inspiration. I love him.
Yeah.
Do you still use Google Analytics? Let's go back onto some more down-to-earth stuff. Do you use analytics from Google, or do you use an alternative?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Sorry. Sorry.
I don't know if you're talking to me. I still use Google Analytics reluctantly. But like my stream the other couple of weeks, Google Analytics 4 is not as bad as we thought. But I think there may be other opportunities to use third-party analytics to get better reports, easier reports, quicker reports.
I use Google Analytics, Zoic, and Console for all my sites. Probably not the membership one. I don't really bother with that because, it comes down to how much I promote it. It's not as much free content on there, so search isn't really as relevant,
Okay. Someone stole your WP Eagle mug? Wow. I know they're desirable, but come on. So, Jan, just to clarify, the major income comes from subscriptions. Is that right? Or, I mean, where would you place it? Or is it always, I think the major income is always a weird question, because when I look at my income, I wouldn't say I have one major income. It's spread across multiple channels, and they all add up to be quite comfortable. Is it similar to you, or is there one that stands out more than the rest?
Yeah, one stands out more than the rest, but it's always different every month. To be honest, I'll check my bank accounts every week or so, and I'll be like, well, what's doing well this week? And it's like playing Lucky Dip. I just find out which one's doing the best.
Okay. So you're in flux with income. It depends on how well your AdSense is doing, your subscriptions, your T-shirts. There's a lot of variables, I guess.
Yeah, if I don't push my memberships for, say, a month, and I'm pushing other stuff, I know I'm probably going to fall off by 10 to 20 members, but that's completely fine. But if I push it, I know I'm going to probably grow by like 20 to 50 members, so I can really push that if I really just want to chase after that and not really focus on anything else. But I try and keep balance and just do a little bit of everything all the way along. But one thing I am trying to do is follow, I believe there's so many YouTubers saying it at the moment, and that is just focus on one thing. I'm trying to cut out little bits of my life now, which I focus too much time on, and start to...
Yeah, you've got a problem with the shiny objects like all of us. Oh, that looks interesting. That's exciting. I'll start that. Because it's always fun to start a new project, right?
Yeah.
And this actually leads nicely on to Daniel Eagler Croft, who asks, how do you prioritize what you work on a daily, weekly basis?
Okay, that's an interesting one. I use to-do lists, and I've got a fantastic notebook here. Thank
Sponsored
you for
by
that one. Which I write a to-do list on, and I just tick it through every single day. I've got a quota.
But how do you decide what to put on that to-do list?
I plan it the day before each time.
Okay. So you're trying to, I'm guessing, I'm just putting words in your mouth for it. You're trying to pick tasks that you know are going to have the most impact on your business, the kind of the bigger stuff, or is it,
Yeah. So I've got a quota of, say, articles that I want to get out every single week, and I do it by week basis. And then I basically say, all right, I want to get this amount of articles out on these sites, and I need to make sure that, say, EROSIUMTV.com has at least 1 to 4 articles going out that week. And I'll chase up my writers to make sure they're doing that. Then in terms of YouTube videos, I'll check with my script writers if they're still doing the scripts. And then I'll see if I need to write any of my scripts myself, and then I'll just record the videos. Mm-hmm. So I just write it on my little list, and things like, social media, I do that all with AI once a month and schedule the entire months out.
Okay.
Which I learned from Ariel at the affiliate gathering. Thanks, Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel, she cranks out the stuff. She knows how to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Jan, I think we probably know the answer to this. I don't think Theo has time for a real job. I love that term, a real job. You don't have a real job. When was your last real job? Or even what was your last real job? Or do you not want to say it?
Okay, so I'll be honest. I always struggled with real jobs. Working for employers, I'd always find there'll come to a moment where they just, because I always worked in sales. I always worked in sales, and sales bosses are renowned for being bullies. And the
Yeah.
second they became a bit too bullyish, I would just,
Go, all right, see you later, I'm out of here.
all right, mate, cheers, thanks for the job, bye bye, and be on my way. So wouldn't stand for it at all. Uh, I I can't stand it. It does my head in. I lose myself. I can't handle that. I don't
Yeah.
like bullies at all, not even one little bit.
No.
So I just will refuse to work with them at all.
So, and
So
when was your last sales job? A rough kind of year on that?
gosh, I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while. It's genuinely been a while because I was focused so long on property. Um, you know, for a period of like 5 years, I was buying a property almost every year and a half, or well, between every year and a year and a half. Uh, and I was just doing those properties up myself. So
Okay, you good at
during that
a
time,
bit of DIY and a bit of drilling, bit of painting.
well, yeah, I had to. I had to. It's the only way I was going to make the dream work, right? Um,
Yeah,
so
it's good.
it's probably been
But you hated it.
it's probably been 8 to 9 years, I think, around
Okay,
that.
wow, that's good. Just going back to the gaming, I knew a bloke that was on an addiction counsellor who was super busy treating professional footballers for gaming addiction. Interesting.
Whoa, that's interesting.
It is very easy to get hooked on gaming. As well, it's very easy to get hooked on anything that gives you a dopamine hit. Couple of stories here. I was very shy until I did bar work when I was 18. Forced myself to DJ for a mobile disco. Another thing is, came out. Did I miss the part where you talk about the 5 properties yet? You did, Johnny, but we can recap. Basically, Theo, whenever he's got enough money that he's made from his online stuff, like his World of Warcraft YouTube stuff, his World of Warcraft memberships, his World of Warcraft t-shirts, he invests in a property. He does it via a mortgage, but he obviously makes sure that the deposit and everything is all lined up so that the mortgage is way less than the rental income. He's up to 5 properties, and he outsources the management of those properties. So it is true passive income in a way, although he obviously still has to manage his manager. But
Yeah.
apart from that, it's pretty easy going.
I can
Of
talk a
course.
little bit about that if you want.
Yeah.
W. So the first property is by far the hardest property to get. By far, that's easily the hardest one to get. Once you've got that, though, as long as you buy the right deal and you add value to the property, getting your second property is a joke. It's genuinely a joke. It's so easy. You just have to buy a property you can add value to. If you buy a property that's already done up, it's already gorgeous.
It's already mint, then there's no point.
Yeah, then you've got no value to add, and your money's now locked in that property with no value to add. Therefore, you can't get more money to buy another property.
So when you say adding value, is that like more kind of literally kind of just cosmetic stuff, places that need a bit of a lick of paint, a new carpet, a bit of new kitchen, that kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. All of that stuff. Taking a property that looks really in the down dumps, making sure that the pictures on the right move or whatever aren't the nicest pictures, so that when you come to put it back up and the valuation people see it, they can say, "Oh, okay."
They can see the before and after, and they go, "Wow, this is incredible. What have you done
Yeah,
here?"
in fact, we used to actually create like a document which would show the before and after to the people who were doing the valuation. So when they come around, they wouldn't just look at the property; they would see, "Oh, here's the what we've done," and then we'd give them that, and they'd see, "Oh, wow, okay, all this
No, they
work."
had an extra few thousand on the valuation, yeah.
Exactly, and when you've done that, you can take that money and put it into another property effectively.
Yeah, perfect. Have you ever taken,
yeah.
this is a question for myself, have you ever taken any professional training courses on property or affiliate marketing, internet marketing, YouTube, any of those things? Or have you just learnt it all by finding out yourself? I mean, you said you went to a gathering regarding the property, but, have you invested in any courses?
I was very close to, but I didn't feel like I needed to. I went to Susanna's Cole's. She's a YouTuber property developer, and I went to her kind of gathering 1 year in London, and it was fantastic. I learned so much on that day. I took so many notes. I went home, just absorbed it all. She gave me a call, like following up, and she was like asking me my goals. I said, I want to get between 5 and 10 properties, and then comfortably retire on that. That was like, quite a long time ago. I had this goal, and she was like, "Well, you don't really need to take my course if I'm honest with you. Then this
Well,
is
that's
what you should
good.
do instead." And I followed that advice, followed the advice in her videos and everything like that, and just put it into practice. Unfortunately, a lot of the time when you learn things, people just don't put it into practice.
Into
And
practice.
I
No,
did.
they're too busy learning a lot and not really doing.
Exactly that. So just to cut it short, no, I didn't take any courses. I just went along to a property seminar, and then everything else was learned through YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most stuff, the best way is to learn by doing it on the job, as it were, jumping in and figuring it out.
I will say one thing on that. If
Yeah.
you are serious about getting into property at all, find a good mortgage advisor, and not just a mortgage advisor that works for a bank. They're the worst ones. No offense if you're a
You want an
mortgage.
independent, yeah?
Yeah, it needs to be independent and ideally an owner of their own business. If you can
Okay.
do
That
that,
can pull from a large portfolio of products and give you the best one
yeah. I
for
mean,
you.
there's loads of free mortgage advisors. Um, I don't use a free mortgage advisor. I pay every time
Yeah,
they
because the free
get
one
me a
is going to
deal.
recommend the products that pay him or her the best commission, I'd imagine.
Exactly. So if you get one that you have to physically pay once they've done the deal, you get a far better deal. In fact, when you go to a bank mortgage advisor, they'll give you, say, I think something like 12 to 20 mortgages. You go to an independent one, they'll give you about 400. So,
Wow.
it's widely different.
And they'll pick the best one for you.
Exactly.
Great. Andy, I have had issues trying to index my content with Google. I get a message that says, oops, something went wrong. Please try again later. Anyone else having these issues? No, but there is something going on with Google at the moment. Maybe an update is rolling across the internet as we speak. You'll notice that the data within Google Search Console has been delayed by nearly 3 days now. And I think also, Andy, you're probably wasting your time by trying to force Google to index your content. I have never gone into Google Search Console and asked Google to index my content. So don't worry about it. The best thing you can do is just work on your website. Google will find it and Google will crawl it and Google will index it when it's good and ready. And it usually does it quicker than you think. Loving your work, Theo. Phil's going to send you some more spiderweb merch. That's good.
Oh, thank you, Phil. That's so sweet.
I
Can
only use
just say,
Trello now, it
Carl,
just got confusing.
Carl, your comments are so lovely. Thank you
Yeah,
for
we'll
that.
get to Carl's in a second. I don't know what he wants. You'll be talking at the next affiliate gathering at this rate. Sales is an awful industry based on my one job I ever did in it. Yes, it can be horrible targets and horrible bullyish sales managers. It's not a nice place to be. Oh, did someone say painting? Steve likes a bit of painting, I think. I love Theo. He brightens up my day and makes me smile. What's the best sound for that?
What a sweetheart. What a sweetheart.
I don't. Just a one. Okay, let's talk about AI very briefly. I'm going to go for 1 more minute and then we will think about the giveaway. I don't want to hold up your night all night. Do you use AI, such as Jasper or Koala, for any of your content?
I used to use Jasper. Actually, used your affiliate for
Thank
that.
you.
No worries, mate.
I think you've cancelled it now, have you?
Cancelled it now.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is too good, isn't it? Let's be honest. I use ChatGPT all day, every day, most days. To be honest, it's ridiculous the amount I use it. I really want to use Koala, but if I'm honest, it just has a big price tag on, and I'm concerned it might be another case of Jasper. No disrespect to Koala or anything, with Jasper, when I paid quite a large sum of money to start with that, about 3/4 of the way through the year, I stopped using it because ChatGPT came out. And kind of my concern is, am I going to pay the money to Koala and then suddenly regret it later down the
Yeah.
line? So
It's a good
that's
point. I mean, ChatGPT does do it all. And of course, if you pay for ChatGPT, which is less than these other tools anyway, then you get your priority access. You get access to GPT-4. Yeah.
I do
wouldn't
love
want to
the
be
way
an
they've gone
investor
on
in Jasper right now. I don't know. Their future looks very unclear to me. When they first came out, when they were the first, it all looked rosy and bright. They had a fantastic tool, fantastic interface, because the interface is lacking on a lot of these other tools. And yeah, but now, I don't know. I'm doing an interesting experiment with Can You Wash It? So we're up to about 270 AI articles on there now. A mix of ChatGPT, GPT 3.5 and GPT-4, some koalas in there, then there's a load of Jasper in there as well. I mean, it's not scientific because of course they're all targeting different keywords. But I just want to get a landscape. So I've fed them all into SEMrush to track the rankings, tagged them all up, and then I'm collecting some data and I just want to see, is there any difference in terms of the kind of reach, the rankings and the traffic that these different tools can bring? As I said, it's not scientific because we're covering a lot of keywords. But what I can see at the moment from the data is that the Jasper content is pulling in more people and is ranking better. I don't know. Once the data's in, we'll draw our own conclusions. It's not scientific. Of course, if I'd have done it across the same keyword, then that would have been difficult as well because they'd all been competing with themselves. But yeah. With the ChatGPT prompt plugins like AI PRM and others, it's such a powerful tool.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
What do
we'll
you
wait and
use for
see
your
how that
prompts,
comes
Alex? WP, sorry.
What's that?
What do you use for your prompts with ChatGPT?
We're using AI PRM. I'll have to speak to Sue because she's doing all the work on that. I think because we have a certain structure for the article, so we just basically have the prompts in terms of very similar to how we use Koala. I think this is how the article needs to be. Answer the question, FAQs. I don't know if she's using any specific thing. I will. That's a good idea. I need to do a video on that.
Yeah, I saw that you're using Mr. Ranker on AIPR for a couple.
That was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, your videos. I tried that. Thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, there's so many. But AI PRM have started wanting to take money from people now and to get all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Theo, do you ever get burnout?
Yeah, I get really bad burnout.
And if so, how do you deal with it?
Stop everything, basically. I stop everything.
Just
completely.
Chill, take a rest, get away from the computer, go out for a walk.
Yeah,
go on holiday.
Just disappear for a week if I need to, and I just don't do anything. I say to my writers, just keep everything going along. Tell my right hand guy like I'm facing burnout, and then I go away for a week and I just focus on enjoying life, going back to the gym, and that's it. And then I come back, kind of fresh face, bushy tailed, and ready to go.
Sometimes you just need to step back, get a break, get some fresh air, do something else.
Yeah.
Who's your right hand guy? That sounds interesting. Is that like a VA?
What's that? Sorry.
You mentioned your right hand man. Is that a VA you've got there or?
I guess you could call it that, but it's more of just one of my viewers who turned into a friend many years ago, and then it's just turned into kind of almost a partner with everything I do. Every type of like business I work on, he's involved in and will help me, and I make sure he's obviously compensated. He's a project manager for his actual job, and so he finds it easy to be organized, whereas I don't.
No, me too. I'm terrible with organisation.
Yeah,
it must be a trait of the entrepreneurial spirit.
I will say, if you're facing burnout, exercise really helps.
Yeah.
Really, really helps. By physically exerting yourself, you mentally relax a lot. It
clears
more.
Your mind. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If I ever stop hitting the gym or going for long walks, get my 10,000 steps a day in, I face I just get depressed. I get really badly depressed. Start to get anxiety. All these silly things start to just appear in my head, and I start to feel like all these problems. But the second I start going to the gym, start walking again, start getting my health in order, it all just sorts itself out. And
yeah, that's some very good advice. I've started exercising. I never used to exercise. Obviously, I've had a few changes in my life. So yeah, I start exercise every day and walking. I went out for another walk earlier. I walk a lot because it's a lovely place to walk here. So why wouldn't I walk along the Mediterranean coast, look with the view of Morocco across the water, and that's why I walk. And now I've started putting in my Ezoic AirPods wherever they are, and listening to some Spanish as well while I do it. So it's fantastic. Just get away from the computer for a time being, and you're good.
I I love
Good. We
listening to
are
Audible.
we are kind of coming out of the hour. We've gone over it now, but just with regards to health and things, because this is another big. We touched on a few big topics like gaming addiction and burnout. What's your relationship with alcohol?
With alcohol?
Yeah, because there was, for example, at Affiliate Gathering, and in fact, in most social situations, alcohol is there. And whether that be helpful or not, it's probably leaning towards that it's not helpful, but it can be a little bit of fun and it can kind of relax people and get them talking, whatever. Although I still think a room full of people in a Affiliate Gathering would be able to do that without alcohol anyway. And they do during the day, but at night the alcohol comes. Do you drink? Have you drunk? Is it something that you've done or you avoid, or what are your thoughts on it?
To be honest with you, mate, it's a bit of a difficult subject for me. My mum passed due to alcohol reasons when I was 6 years old.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all good, mate. And as a result of that, I kind of am very cautious of alcohol.
Yeah, well, understandably, cautious. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do drink. I drink in social situations, but I am very, very cautious of it. I understand the addiction that is involved with that, especially. But it doesn't stop me, when I go on a social occasion, I do have a drink as long as I'm around people that I feel comfortable with. Okay,
that's interesting. Yeah, I've got my other channel which I have not published on for a long time, but there's a number of topics, alcohol being one of them, gaming being another one, that I do want to explore a bit more because they're very big things, and alcohol, especially where I live here, is everywhere, and it's such a complex and strange thing that's so interwoven into our societies, and
binging is really bad. That's really where it gets bad. Is the binging? How?
Yeah, well, then you're written off for like 4 or 5 days. You don't feel normal again until next weekend, generally.
Yeah, I actually feel guilty when I drink too much because I know that tomorrow's going to be an unproductive day, and nothing makes me more sad than an unproductive day. So I feel a little bit guilty when I drink alcohol. But as Helen says in the comment section, I do like a whiskey and Coke when I'm with some friends.
Yeah, well, why not? Why not? And if you have a healthy relationship with it, then that's great.
Exactly.
Right, we're gonna wrap it up because everyone's starting to. Well, Carl's drifting away. He's got to go. He's such a busy man, Carl. Thanks for dropping by, Carl. And you're trying to make money could be classed as an addiction. For sure, people get addicted to work and business, and that again can be a problem. That's when burnout can happen and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
anything can be an addiction. But anyway, we haven't quite hit the likes number, but it's been a good stream. I think we've all had fun. Let's do a giveaway anyway. If you'd like to win some WP Eagle merch, is the music on? Yeah, or a mug maybe. Could be t-shirt, could be mug. Then you just got to say something in the chat right now. You've got 30 seconds. While I run a quick transition, and then we'll get to the wheel of names and we'll pull a name out and see who's going to win some merch. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me bring you in. Where's Theo gone? Hang on.
Where am I gone?
Oh no.
It's disappeared.
Hey, there you are in a circle. I like it.
I like circles. This is really cool.
Yeah. Mug, please, and thank you for all your advice. No worries.
Sorry.
Thank you, Tim. Great stream, says Joe. Thank you. I'm glad you're all getting stuff out of it. Theo, great guy, great energy, a lot of experience to share. Right, what am I doing? I'm looking for this page here. This is what I want. This is where all your names are. Come on, you got 10 more seconds. Do you look like Holly from Red Dwarf?
Who's that?
Yes, you're too young, Theo, I guess, for Red Dwarf.
Have
you ever heard of Red Dwarf?
Oh my gosh, really? I just googled it. That's fantastic.
There was 2 Hollies actually, because depending on the series, Holly was originally a bloke and then it turned to a woman. It was a computer on the spaceship Red Dwarf. You'd probably like Red Dwarf.
I love Expanse. The Expanse is incredible. Someone mentioned it.
The floating head part, yeah, because you got the black t-shirt, the floating head, yeah. We got it, Bramber, we got it. All right, let's do this. You're either in or you're not in.
Like this.
Yeah. Okay, let's get a drum roll going here. Where's the drum roll? Here we go. It's exciting. Carl's still in the draw there. He's gone, I think. Thank you, Helen. It's going to be, isn't it? No, is it Carl? No, it's Chris. Chris Thornton. Chris of the Thornton, you are. I think you are. Yes, you are. You definitely are. Let's get a little sound effect. Theo, what game is this from?
I'm not sure.
The latest iteration of it was released just the other week. Very big game. On the Switch, on the Nintendo. Do it one more time. You never played The Legend of Zelda?
Oh my gosh! To be honest, I got terrible hearing, so it's really hard to hear.
Okay. But of course you play The Legend of Zelda. Well done, Chris. Yeah, Zelda, Johnny, well done. Bullseye, close, easy Spanish training, a little bit different. Yeah, Chris, congratulations. Just drop me an email, eagle@WPEagle. My email address is just above me here. Let me know what you'd like. You can find all the merch over at WPEagle.com. If you want a t-shirt or other clothing, I think there's only t-shirts. I got rid of the hoodie. That was getting too expensive. Choose a t-shirt, let me know your size and address, and we'll get that sorted out. Let's wrap up. What? That's not the right camera. There we go. It's been pretty slick actually tonight, apart from that.
I like that, mate. That's good. Thank you for having me on the show today at WP.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great fun. And yeah, if you want to find out more about Theo, his channels are below. Go check them out and subscribe and watch and all the rest of it. Well, what are your plans for the rest of the week? Just cracking on? Anything exciting? Thursday tomorrow?
Thursday tomorrow. I'm planning a trip to Spain.
Of course.
Soon.
Did you find out where you're going?
Haven't yet. My brother's booked it all.
Okay.
We're flying.
Well,
to
if you are
Oporto.
anywhere near me down in Estepona, drop me up. We'll have a non-alcoholic beverage.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love that.
But
Let's do it.
often people say I'm going to Spain, and then like 6-hour drive away.
Are you off
so it
at
really
the
depends on
alcohol?
where you are, because I'm right down in the south, down near Marbella and Gibraltar. Malaga is the nearest airport here.
Got you. Okay. Well, I'll definitely email you when I know a bit more. I'm planning to fly to Oporto in Portugal and then drive across to Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Southern Portugal's not too far from here. That's drivable, but yeah, we'll talk. That'll be fun.
Okay, mate. Sounds good.
Any more budget accommodation? They fully booked. CPA marketing, drop me an email, eagle@WPGO, and we'll sort you something out. There's plenty of Airbnbs and other things around. But yeah, it is the season here, so it's quite busy and everyone's just cranking the prices up.
Yeah.
Daniel admits to having a little problem with World of Warcraft in his early 20s. I guess you kicked the habit now, Daniel, have you? It's like all things, it can be okay. If I think like all these things, as long as it's not encroaching into other areas of your life too much, like work and relationships and that kind of thing. But keeping that balance is always easier said than done, huh? Stuart says he smiled through the entire stream. Theo is infectious. Not in a coronavirus kind of way, in a good way. Yeah, you have got a fantastic energy
COVID,
and smile,
mate.
Theo. I love your positivity.
Exactly. I think a smile can change someone's day. It definitely can.
It can.
You know, the amount of times I've walked into my gym just smiling, and someone says to me like a week, a month later, your smile changed my whole day, and I'm like, wow, that's
Wow,
crazy.
that's good.
That
I guess as long as you
happens.
don't go too near the muscle bros on all the roids, then they might get freaked out by it. I don't know.
Oh
What are you
no,
looking at?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. I go to a bit better establishment than that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Theo, and enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your evening.
Will do, and I hope you have a lovely week, Alex. Really appreciate you bringing me on here. Thanks for doing that.
It's been great. All right, Theo. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye, everyone. See you later.
Bye, everyone.